Om Namah Shivaya. Episode 67, Chapter 12, verses 3 to 5. Sannyasis contemplate upon Brahman as themselves. We must know that sannyasam is not a matter of choice. It is for karma yogis who have committed themselves to gain the knowledge of Brahman by contemplating upon Atma, Brahman, as themselves for moksha. Then we are considered a sannyasi, even if we have not taken sannyasam as a lifestyle. To Arjuna's question in verse 1, who is nearer to moksha? The karma yogis meditating on Saguna Brahma, or the sannyasis contemplating upon Nirguna Brahma? This question is like the one when Birbal was asked to name the most sacred river, and he replied Yamuna, because Sri Krishna was born and raised along its banks. When asked what about Ganga, he said, Ganga cannot be considered a river. It is knowledge of Brahman flowing from Lord Shiva. Similarly, sannyasis contemplating upon Nirguna Brahma cannot be compared with karma yogis meditating on Saguna Brahma, because the sannyasis are contemplating upon themselves as the ultimate truth, that they are Satchit Ananda Atma, that which cannot be objectified. In verse 3, Sri Krishna treats the sannyasis like jnanis, and he uses the word however to distinguish the sannyasis from karma yogis, who are contemplating upon Nirguna Brahma as themselves, ye paryupasate, by listening, analyzing, and contemplating upon the words of the Shastra. We as sannyasis contemplate upon Brahman, the Atma within, the all-pervasive consciousness, Sarva Tragam, that is pervading the entire creation. We contemplate Atma as number 1, Aksharam, not subject to decline. Atma was there before we were born. Now Atma is in every atom of our body, and Atma continues to be even when this body dies. Second, Atma is avyaktam, not available for objectification. Our senses cannot perceive Atma, but because of Atma's presence, we are able to perceive things. Our eyes see, our ears hear. Third, anirdesha, Atma cannot be described. And fourth, achintya, it is not a thought to think about. But because of Atma's presence within, we can describe things and have thoughts. No word is adequate enough to describe Brahman, Atma. That is why we contemplate upon Atma as not this, not this, not this, because Atma is everything and yet independent of everything. Even though Brahman, Atma, cannot be described or thought of, yet all the Upanishads reveal Atma, reveal Brahman through the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. We are that, we are Brahman. Shastra makes us recognize Brahman that abides in Maya, Kutastham. just like an anvil upon which heated metal is knocked into shape, does not decline or move. Similarly, Atma is. Atma does not move and is eternal. Achalam Dhruvam. While Ishvara, by having Maya under his control, is creating, sustaining, and dissolving this universe at the Prakriti level. By contemplating upon Nirguna Brahma, we learn to identify ourselves at the Atma level and not with our body, mind, senses, where pain and pleasure, birth and death are its nature. The reason why Arjuna got frightened seeing the dissolution that was taking place in the Visvarupa, because he was identifying himself at the body, mind, sense level and not at the Atma level. In verse 4, Sri Krishna says that to be able to contemplate on Nirguna Brahma, we must have the basic qualities of a karma yogi. First, we must have complete mastery over our group of sense organs. Sanniyamya Indriya Gramam. For this, we must discipline our mind by practicing Samadhamma to have mastery over our emotions and thinking pattern. Thereby, we will be able to discipline our 5 senses of perception and 5 powers of action to live a righteous life. Second, we must live a disciplined and a contented life by cultivating certain values and attributes, which will bring about an equanimity towards all being, sarvatra samabuddhaya, to remain equal-minded in all situations. Third, we must take delight in the well-being of all creatures and be committed to the welfare of all being, sarvabhuta hite rataha, to live a matured and a compassionate life. All these qualities are required to gain a mind that will be able to contemplate upon Nirguna Brahma, to discover that truly we are Satchit Ananda Atma. Sri Krishna says once we have acquired all these qualities, we have sufficiently purified and steadied our minds. We are matured human beings. Now we are ready to contemplate upon Nirguna Brahma, to discover that Atma, Brahman, is our true self. We are wise. We have gained Ishvara alone. Te eva mam prapnu vanti. In verse 5, Sri Krishna says, to contemplate on Akshara Brahma, the afflictions are still greater. Klesha adhikarata tesha. As our minds are committed to what that cannot be objectified. Avyakta asakta chetasam. Atma is an end which cannot be objectified. Avyaktahi gatir. And when we have no insight of the nature of Atma, it is reached with difficulty. Avapyate dukkham, by those who are still identified with the body. Deha vat vi. When we say it is difficult, it means we have not matured. Maturity takes time. Just like you cannot force a fruit to ripe, it takes time. Therefore, first, maturity requires conscious living to gain a purified and a steady mind. By going through life's experiences with a karma yogic attitude, this will lessen our identification with this body. Second, to know that truly we are Satchit Ananda Atma, we must be able to relax, suspend our identification with this body, and expose our intellect to the knowledge of Brahman. As we continuously keep contemplating on Nirguna Brahma, slowly our identification with this body is given up to discover that truly we are Satchit Ananda Atma. It is a fact to be known. Then we can say we are Brahman. At verse 5, we shall take a break, and next Shri Krishna is going to teach the Karma Yogis how to meditate on Saguna Brahma. So till then, Om Namah Shivaya.